Hello, market movers, and welcome to Market Movers Live. TPott, this is the May edition. I think we're kind of officially summertime. Is this summertime?
Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
My kids get out of school at the end of this week, TPott. Actually, they got out of school in 2 days.
My kids just finished up.
And we're taking off. We're doing a little vacay. Your kids are already done.
I'm staying here and working extra for you while you're out.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. You got any summer vacay with the kids?
We're heading up to New England for a wedding 2 weekends from now.
Where in New England?
We're flying into Boston and we're going into New Hampshire.
Oh, very nice.
So it's been 20 years since I've been to New Hampshire.
Pop on across the lake to Vermont and go get some Ben & Jerry's.
I'm sure they have that in New Hampshire too.
They might, but the factory's in Vermont. You gotta do the whole tour. Get a first off the line pint. You will not regret it.
Okay.
You will not regret it. It's not far.
FOTL pints.
Hey, we got Neo Cards and Comics in the chat tonight. Rob is here. That's great. Good to see Rob. We got a lot of people here. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Look, we got Kevin Perry, and we got all kinds of people here. 1959 Fleer Ted Williams.
That's not a thing. It's not a thing. But
is that a thing?
No, it's not. But
Never
it could
heard of
be
that
a
before.
custom card.
All right, 1959 Fleer Ted Williams. Ernie's in the chat. Salty T Sports Cards. Christopher. Appreciate all you guys. TPott, let's get into some questions right off the bat. These are questions that Market Movers users submitted before this show today.
Sure.
And if we answer your question today, you're going to get a free pack or
pack or
two.
Yeah.
I think we got some nice products today. Let's bring the first question up on the screen. What are your thoughts on long-term investing in MMA cards? Interesting. We haven't talked about this for a while, TPott. You have any updated thoughts? What's your thoughts on MMA?
Yeah, I do. Mixed thoughts. UFC is growing. UFC is continuing to grow. I've gotten really into UFC in the last few years. It's exciting. The main challenge that UFC has is that the fighters don't last long at the top. Very few fighters defend their belts well and stay there for long periods of time. Of course, there are exceptions to that, but you really have to. At this point, you kind of have to get into the greatest of all time conversation, or at least the greatest of like an era. And because so many people are just churn and burn, like that's like a flash in the pan. And the other problem is many fighters are only fighting 1 or 2 times per year. That's it. They train and they train and they train, and then you have this big, headline main card. And then that's it. So it's tough to like keep the hype and the momentum around those players. And then the other part is you get a lot of guys who just don't pan out. Like recently, Bo Nickel, who was like the poster child for American wrestling and everything. He was an All-American collegiate wrestler. He was expected to be really good, and then he got absolutely smoked by a guy who came from another basically league in and had a few fights, and then came here and just majorly outclassed him in sparring. So it's really difficult in that regard. I think if fighters establish themselves and then become like long-term staples, that's where the investment could be pretty good. But outside of that, be really careful with like the speculation and short-term piece. Okay,
real quick, WWE or UFC?
Well,
in terms of investing, in terms of cards.
I hate to say it, but WWE.
WWE.
I hate to say it.
I'm kind of with you there.
I like UFC. I don't watch WWE.
Yeah.
I like UFC, but what did I say to you recently? Collect what you like, invest in what others like.
Yeah. People like WWE. It's hot right now. Mark, thank you for the question. Let's go to Nick. Let's open up a pack for Mark for answering that question. Nick, how you doing tonight over there?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing great.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
What do you got for Mark here?
So we got Bowman Chrome University basketball 2024. We got 2025 Bowman baseball.
Okay, we're going to be opening all of these tonight.
And then a hobby box of Topps Resurgence.
Ooh. Well, what are we going to open for Mark? What are we going to open first?
We're going to do 2 packs of Bowman Chrome University.
Great, there you go. Cooper Flag, and he's going to be a happy camper. Let's see it happen.
All right.
And as he's opening those guys, the questions we're going to answer in tonight's show, they were submitted before the show by our Market Movers members. We want to make sure all of you guys get in our giveaway tonight. All of our Market Movers members are eligible for the giveaway. We're going to pin that link to the top of the YouTube chat. You go to sportscardinvestor.com/live and go ahead and enter the giveaway tonight if you are a Market Movers member. What we got here?
Ooh.
Wow.
Hey.
We got a big hit right off the bat.
That's a decent hit.
Yeah, that is a decent hit. Wow, that's really nice. The Big Kahuna is the short print. That's kind of the case hit of Bowman U Chrome. Not only that, but you have an autograph version of the Big Kahuna. a popular player. This is a good. Nick, you are delivering today. I got to tell you, last show I was pretty disappointed in you. I will be honest. The cards you pulled last show were not great, and a lot of our Market Movers members walked away upset. Today, I'm glad you have brought the energy right off the bat. Good job, Nick.
Yep.
Making up for it today.
Yep.
There you go.
He did not build his
McNeely.
breaker resume last time.
He got it today.
Yeah.
He got it today. There you go. Look at that. Mark just got himself a short print Big Kahuna auto just for submitting a question and for being a Market Movers member.
And before we get to the next question, I don't even know if 1959 Fleer Ted Williams is a Market Movers member. If you're not, I'd love for you to be. But that is a real card.
Is there a 1959
And I think we
Fleer
should
Ted
give him a
Williams?
pack. I think this is I did not know this card existed. Give him a pack.
Give him a
so
pack.
show it on the screen. I've got it pulled up here. Beautiful card.
Can we pull it up? Can
Absolutely
I see
beautiful
TPott
card.
screen? Can we?
Look at this.
That is the 1959 Fleer Ted Williams. I
That's
did not
amazing.
know. I've never seen that card
A
before
couple
in
other
my life.
people in the chat were saying, I have this card, or yes, it's
Really?
a real card. I had no idea that
I have
was a real
never
card.
seen that card before in my life.
No.
Never.
I
Look at that.
actually didn't know that.
Wow.
I thought the early Fleer basketball set was the original Fleer.
19, yeah, well, look at that. You stumped TPott.
This is amazing.
You stumped TPott.
So maybe that's on trivia next month.
There you go.
There we go.
1959 Fleer Ted Williams says he owns a complete set of 1959 Fleer.
That's a very cool set. So I don't know. I think we should
Let's get him a pack.
Sure thing. Jeff, you want to let them know what they need to fill out? if
Sure,
they
yeah,
win
yeah,
a
yeah.
prize?
So assuming you are a American Movers member, what you do is you go to that page that's pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, and the prize winner form is at the bottom of that page.
Yep.
If you are not a Market Movers member, 1959 Fleer Ted Williams, please email help@sportscardinvestor.com, and we'll get these cards to you.
Yep.
So we got Hobby Bowman there. Okay.
Nothing crazy?
Nothing crazy in
missed
that
it.
one. Nothing crazy in that
All
one.
right.
By the way, guys, if you are
Tried.
not a Market Movers member and you would like to be part of the show tonight in terms of being able to play trivia later and prizes and all that kind of stuff, you can sign up for free right now. Use promo code LIVE for 14 days free. It's there at the bottom of the screen. Just go to sportscardinvestor.com, click Market Movers in the main menu bar, and then use promo code LIVE. And if you sign up right now, you get free access for 14 days, and you'll be part of all of tonight's action, which is pretty fun here for the next 2 hours.
We're going to end up having everybody go change their names to like obscure sports cards.
Yes.
But anyway, go ahead.
Let's grab another question. What was next here? This one is from Spilonini?
Yeah.
Spilonini?
I can't. Yeah, it's very small.
Kind of small, but it says,
Spiloni.
it can be hard to tell which variation of a card I pulled, like green, green wave, or green ice. Why don't the card manufacturers just print the variations directly on the card? Why don't they, TPott?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I asked them.
Yeah, I know. So this is
I asked them.
This is one of TPott and I's biggest points of feedback to Topps, to Panini, is to do this. We have told them 88 times. The only explanation that I've heard for why they don't is that the parallel colors often get printed after the card is printed as part of a second printing process. So they will print the front of the card and the back of the card, and they'll all look the same. Then they'll go through a second printing process to apply the refractor color and pattern over top. And so the reason why they can't print it on the back is because the back has already been fully printed before it then later gets the refractor finish applied. That's what they told me at one point in time.
I mean, that may be why one of the motivating forces why they moved, I think, permanently the serial number stamping to the front of the card.
Right.
Because, I mean, part of it was the suspicion was like that makes it easier for breakers as they're like pulling cards out to know they've hit something. But just put it on the card.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, no.
I know, come on,
that
yeah,
can't
redesign the printing process.
There's codes on the back, though.
Yeah.
They always have a unique code on the bottom, and it's very small, and so you for the parallel. So that can't.
There's gotta be some way.
There's got to
Gotta
be a
be
way to
some
do it. I don't know why they don't do it.
Yeah.
I literally asked them at the Topps Industry Conference, and one of their head of baseball design just sort of was like, "Yeah, we could do that or not." It's like, come on.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Spinolini. Let's get him a pack.
All right. Going to Topps Resurgence
Oh, this
Football.
is a fun product. Have you seen this Rip Teapot?
No, I've seen it in last year's. Like it was inserted.
Right. This is it's got its own
the
whole set
composite.
this year. Right.
All right. Joe Green, Richard Sherman, John Riggins, a Drew Bledsoe, a Marius Mims Refractor, Conductors, Caleb Williams.
It's cool.
That's cool
Cool
looking.
card. another Mims, and a Cade Stover.
All right. There you go. That's Revolution Football. Appreciate the question. Let's go to the next question.
That Caleb Williams. Oh no, these are all. Oh, these are parallels. That's still like a $6.
$6 card. Look at that. Good for you. Good for you. Ryan Brewer wants to know, what is the dollar value that you want to be at in order to get a card graded? For example, if you think it'll be worth $40 graded at a 10, is it worth the cost of grading? What's your thought, TPott?
No, not at $40.
Right.
Typically, no. You got to think about. I mean, you have to know what the raw cost is. And typically, a PSA 10 at $40 raw is going to be about $10, $8 to $10 raw.
Maybe a 3 to 4x.
Yeah, most of the time, somewhere in that $5 to $10 range typically. And the problem with that is that the PSA 9 is also going to be $5 to $10.
Correct.
And so you're going to put in $25 to get that card graded to make $5 profit, which isn't profit.
And
Okay,
only
with
if you
fees
get a
and
10.
everything.
And if you get a 9,
Yeah.
you totally mess yourself
Honestly,
up.
for PSA 10s, I would keep it simple and set that value at about $100, like 80 to 100, 80 at the lowest.
Yeah, or you could look
75,
at it from the raw card value.
Yeah.
I think raw card value of $25 and up.
Yeah.
And that's only if you're sure you got a really good chance at a Gem 10, right? $50 and up if you want to be a little safer in terms of the raw card value.
Yeah.
Then the spread starts to become worth it, where even if you only get a 10, 50% or 40% of the time, if it's a $50 raw card and when you do get a 10, it's worth $150 to $200, you're still fine. If you get, a 10 only 40% of the time, you still come out ahead in that equation.
Yeah.
But if the raw card's $10 and the PSA 10's $40, you get killed in that equation unless your gem rate is close to 100%.
I have two tips and a caution in that. First tip is look at gem rates. So look at the gem rate and know if it's been out a little while, know that like 60, 70% of these get 10s or 20 to 30% get 10s. Don't send stuff that gets a low gem rate. The other, I forgot my other tip. But anyway, the caution is basically don't send stuff in and like get excited like, oh, this is in a PSA 10, it's doing 120, 140, whatever, but it just came out. And so all of a sudden it's going to start coming down really fast. I've had cards where I sent in and PSA 10s were doing $150, and by the time I get it back, they're doing 70.
Yeah.
And it's the same card. It's not because of the player, it's just because the curve as the more supplies hit the market. So maybe I'll think of the other tip later and say it again out of the blue.
In the meantime, let's get Ryan Brewer a pack.
All right, we'll do 2 packs.
2 packs of Bowman. Wow. Ryan hit the lottery here. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Didn't even have a good username. No, I'm just kidding.
Got an aqua parallel back there? What's that?
Oh,
you got one of the red rookie refractors. There you go.
Wow.
Dana.
Yeah. That's funny.
You got the red rookie symbol.
I mean, probably not going to win Rookie of the Year.
Probably not going to win Rookie of the Year.
But,
Cy Young.
I mean, interesting to see one of those hit. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's still a short printed rookie card.
Yep.
That's the part you and I have talked about.
Absolutely.
It's like it's still a short printed rookie card, even if they don't win Rookie of the Year.
For those who don't know, that red rookie symbol, if you hit a card in Bowman with that red rookie symbol, if that player goes on to win Rookie of the Year, you can redeem that for $100 in Fanatics credit.
Max Clark, the
yeah.
VIP.
Ooh.
That's a cool card.
okay.
And Chase Hampton first.
That's on the Speckle refractor, right?
Speckle. It's not numbered, but cool card.
That's awesome.
Sanabria
Speckles.
and another one.
All right, there you go.
2 good packs.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's grab another question or two here.
$13 on the Hampton Speckle.
Hey, there you go. That's not bad. Let's go for Recession Uncle. Appreciate you joining again. We see him every show. Which returning college football players that already have Bowman first cards do you think should we be thinking about for the fall? Wow, that's a good question.
This is all you.
Well, I mean, I'm going to give the obvious answer to the question, Recession Uncle, and the obvious answer to the question is no other than DJ Lagway, the quarterback for the greatest football team, or well, maybe greatest basketball team, the Florida Gators. DJ Lagway. No, in all seriousness, I actually am truly going to say Lagway. The reason why is because Lagway was Gatorade National Player of the Year coming out of high school, played a good bit last year as a freshman, took over the team as the starter the second half of the season. Florida then went on a win streak at the end of the year. Lagway showed flashes. People are expecting a lot out of this guy. And beyond whatever he does at Florida, people are expecting this guy to be a first-round draft pick, maybe having the potential of going top 5 or number 1 overall that would be 2 years from now when he would be eligible to come out for the draft. So there's going to be a lot of excitement about Lagway entering this season. His first Bowman was in last year's product, and I heard that Lagway has now signed an exclusive autograph deal with Leaf, which means that he will no longer be signing Bowman U cards. So his only Bowman U autos will be the ones that came out last season, which were his first Bowman U autos. So I don't know. Lagway would be a guy I would pick.
I'm going to show you a guy on my screen.
Okay.
Who I really like.
Let's go see. Teapott's screen.
Since we're going Homer picks.
That's right.
I'm going to go Jeremiah Love.
Okay.
From Notre Dame, the running back, who is an absolute utter beast, who had one of the best runs of 2024 against Penn State to get it over the goal line, to carry us through that game. He's a beast. He's projected to be a first-round draft pick in next year's NFL draft and maybe top half of that draft. So he could be the top running back, one of the top running backs taken. But typically it's quarterbacks or bust. But since we're picking Homer picks, I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love.
I appreciate that. There we go. Homer picks are good. Hey, if you've got any suggestions in the chat, throw them in there. The Tar Heels book says Arch Manning, who, by the way, is Panini exclusive with his autographs. Yeah. So, you know, he's not, I don't even see him, he's not even going to be in Topps products at all, right? You got to go get his Prism, his Panini did like an optic set of him, of Arch Manning's, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
so. I think that's how you got to go get Arch Manning's cards. So anyway, that's we'll see what else people toss into the chat. But in the meantime, let's give Recession Uncle some packs.
All right, we'll open up some Bowman Chrome U.
Well, that's fitting for the basketball version.
Basketball. An Evans, a Blocker, a Boogie Fland, Campus Icons, and a Billy Richmond.
Hold on now. Can we
What did I
rewind
miss?
to that previous card? Do you know why this card is significant?
Boogie Fland.
Do you know who this is?
It's the second coming of Boogie Cousins.
Boogie Fland. Tell Teapot, inform Teapot in the chat what school Boogie Fland, the #1 guard in the transfer portal, the 5-star freshman phenom, transferred to today. That would be the University of Florida. Because we are about to run it back for a second natty in a row, Teapot. Boogie Fland, now a Florida Gator as of today.
Yeah.
We're going to run it back.
Late to my one-on-one because he was watching the transfer portal.
I mean, you got to watch that transfer portal.
All right, McNeely,
We beat that guy in March Madness. We eliminated him.
Gilbert, Con Knuppel.
That guy didn't
X-Factor.
show up to play us in the championship game because Houston beat them at the
You're
end.
welcome.
Otherwise, we would have eliminated him.
And Aiden Sherrill.
And we were 3-0 against that guy this season.
Should've lost.
Ba-da-da, boom!
Should have lost these.
Let's go Gators. All right, there we go. What's next? Let's do another question. This is from Juan. He wants to know, do you think pop reports should factor more into valuation or are they overhyped? That's a very interesting question, Teapot. What is your thought on this?
My thought is you need to know what you're buying. You need to know how many are out there. Typically, pop reports, you could make an argument that they're overhyped because all you really need to do is look at the available supply at any given point in time. We have so many online marketplaces, plus you go to any card show and it's Groundhog Day as you walk by every booth and all the cards are exactly the same at the Dallas Card Show and everywhere else. It's the same types of cards over and over again. And so people get a little fixated on pop counts. In my opinion, it's like, I know I can find this card if I'm out looking for it. So if I walk up to somebody's booth and they say pop 5 on the sticker and I pull it up and I see 2 cheaper on eBay and buy it now right now, like that doesn't really matter that much. At the same time, it's really important information. It is very important, especially when you don't see any others for sale, to know, oh, this card just never surfaces. So I think pop counts are valuable. They're relevant. You should know what's out there. There's a theoretical market cap associated with how many cards have been graded in a given grade. It really matters on vintage, but sometimes pop count's a little bit of a buzzword that doesn't actually mean that much.
And I think that's fair. And I think the easy way of thinking about this, in my opinion, is if you think of like, if you drew a chart and on one axis it is population size from low to high down in the corner, and then on the other axis it is interest level in the card amongst collectors, popularity from low to high. If you can get out there, which is a high interest in the card and a low population report, then you're really onto something. But a low population report with low interest in the card means absolutely nothing. you could have a card that's pop 1, and if nobody really cares about it or wants it, then it doesn't make a darn bit of difference that it's pop 1. So I think I see people sometimes trying to apply population reports to cards that people don't care about that much. I have people come up to me at card shows, and they'll hand me a card that will be like a first Bowman of like a mediocre baseball player, and it will be like his like blue refractor number to 150, and it will be like a PSA 9, and they'll go pop 1, and I'll be like, who cares?
I don't care.
Because nobody's graded it.
Yeah.
That's why it's pop 1, because the card's worth like $8.
Yeah.
So yes, it's pop 1 because nobody graded that card, because the interest level in that card is kind of low. And so you gotta like, it really matters if you have a card with high interest. Then it really matters. But a card with a low interest really makes no difference.
I'll give you an example. You could have a 1995 Fleer basketball LaFonso Ellis base card, PSA 10, pop 1.
Yep.
And that card won't be worth anything.
No, nothing.
Because nobody's even set collecting PSA 10s to get the entire run of that particular set. If you have a 1996 Fleer metal LaFonso Ellis PSA 10 pop 1, there's a market for that. Much like some of those like, under-gemmed or under-printed no-name players from all the 80s sets that people want to set collect. But there has to be a demand for the card. And I think your little matrix, as I like to think, is a good one.
There you go. Invented that on the fly. Let's get a pack for Juan.
LaFonso Ellis.
All
There you
right,
go.
we'll go to
Good
more
example.
Topps Resurgence. All right. Jim Kelly, Jonathan Ogden, Jason Taylor, Archie Manning, Bo Jackson, Blue Wave, Jonathan Brooks, rookie out of 99. It's a nice one.
What's this one? Oh yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I'm delayed. I was looking at my feed. I got delayed.
And an Eric All Jr.
But that is a nice Jonathan Brooks there. There you go. There it was. There it was.
Voltaic, yeah.
That's nice. Very cool. Awesome. Good job. Nick's doing a little bit better. TPott, we're going to take one more real quick question. I'm going to send you out in the aisles to do a little exercise out there. All right. So get ready. But let's do one final question from the audience real quick. This one from Steve. I'm getting back into the hobby after 30 years and have been collecting PSA 10 junk wax era cards. Any thoughts on underrated cards from this era?
It's kind of a funny transition.
It is. Steve, I'll give you one idea. First of all, I like that. That's fun. But second of all, how about PSA 10 junk wax era cards that are autographed with an auto grade of 10? That makes it much more rare. Like we were just going through some of my cards the other day, and like for example, and this is obviously a very expensive example, but I've got the 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck card with a grade of PSA 10, but then also an auto grade of 10, which makes that like a much higher end card. But you could do this with any card from that era, right? You could take a McGuire card or a Bonds card or a Bo Jackson card and get the autograph and then try to go for the 10-10 or something of that nature. So I don't know, just kind of an idea. I would say that might be a little bit underrated. Of course, on the other hand, if the players are still alive, they're probably signing a lot. So don't do it for collecting, because I will say I've been watching the pop count on some of them. The Barry Sanders 1989 score PSA 10, when I originally bought mine, I bought a 10-10 when I originally bought mine. The pop count was like, I think 50 or something. Now I think it's way over 100, might be a few hundred that are 10-10 because he's signing a lot. And so people are cracking their 10s and they're having him sign them and then they're getting 10-10s on them. So not always the best investment unless the player is no longer signing. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else? Any card you should go after?
I don't have a lot to say about the junk wax era. I was born in '85. It's not my favorite era. I respect everybody who likes to collect it and that has the nostalgia attached to it. But I would say maybe if there's any obscure, players who might be Hall of Fame candidates and things like that, that's who I would be looking at, or just the ones specifically from that era where people want to set collect, like in the highest grade in PSA set registry, then try to get those highest grades of those like ones that are pop 7, try to track those down because
Absolutely.
you can find a market for those.
There you go. Awesome. TPott, head on out there to the aisles. While
Okay.
TPott is doing that, guys, I want to let you know that we are going to be doing a giveaway here that's going to be taking place for our Market Movers members in about 5 minutes. So if you are a Market Movers member and you're watching the show tonight, make sure to get registered for tonight's giveaway if you haven't already. click the link in the top of the YouTube chat or go to sportscardinvestor.com/live. Log in with your Market Movers account if you aren't already logged in, and then you can enter tonight's giveaway right there. Also on that page is the prize winner form. So if we call your name anytime during tonight's show to win a prize like a pack, make sure to fill it out there. And then later tonight when we do trivia, the link to trivia will be there as well. Now while Teapot's getting positioned out there, Nick, we need to get a pack for that last gentleman who we just answered the question for.
Sure thing. So these are for Steve Gramke, I believe is who it was. 2 more packs of Bowman real quick. Quintero, Condon, Wheeler, Shigano. Looks like a Rookie of the Year.
Nice.
Kumar Rocker.
There you go.
Die
All right.
cut insert.
Refractor on that.
Braylon Payne, Jesus Made, and a Seaver King. One more. Andrew Morris, Ashley Andujar, Pete Alonso, Ben Rice, Owen Casey, top 100 prospects, Chase Burns, Steven Echevarria, and a Luis Morejo.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for the questions. Let's go out there, Teapot. So here's what I want you to do. We just talked about 80s cards. The gentleman is collecting 1980s cards. I know you were more of a 90s guy. I'd like you to go find me a couple of cards, maybe from your childhood collecting era, that jump out to you in the showcases as cards that you would like to buy and add to your collection.
I love this. Okay, here we go. So I was a big basketball guy in the 90s, so these will jump out at me quickly. Ooh, we got a, let me just point out, we caught a Shea restock, including a bunch of autos.
Oh, wow.
This is all autos. Somebody bought a Shea on-card, like in-person auto super collection. That's pretty wild.
It's a pretty good time to have those cards right now. Yeah, those cards are probably on the way up.
Let's see, any 90s slab stuff usually. Okay, yeah, here we go. So we got the Court Masters, Shaquille O'Neal, SGC 9.5. All right, that is a set that I really like.
That's a nice card from 1997 Fleer Ultra.
Yep, exactly. Ultra is one of my favorite sets of all time. I say that about everything in the 90s, though.
What do we have that priced at?
That's at 500.
And it's SGC 9.5. That's a good grade. If you want to bring up Market Movers on my screen here real quick, I was just looking. So a PSA 10 of that, that's got to be pretty low pop. A PSA 10 recently did $1,350.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a pop 5.
I might have to crack that and send it into PSA and take a
Yeah,
shot.
so an SGC 9.5 at $500 is not bad, considering a PSA 10 recently did
What's a PSA
1,000.
9 do on that, Jeff?
Let's see. I see a PSA 8. Let me see if I see any 9s here. Here, what I might do is just add it to the search and see like the last PSA 9 sale. The last PSA 9 sale did $324 and $348 above that.
Okay, I mean, honestly, the gamble on that is not bad. Like value proposition wise, to say, okay, I could stand to lose 150-ish, or I could gain 700. I mean,
yeah,
that's
all right. We might be cracking that after the show today.
We
By the way, guys, all of the graded cards in our showcase, they're all available for sale on cardshq.com. So that card and all of these others are all live right now on cardshq.com if you want to snag any.
All right, we got lots of ultra modern in here. I'm just looking at the raw singles now for basketball. Oh wow, wait, what is this? What am I looking at with this New Orleans Zion Williamson Duncan Go Nuts? What is that from?
I don't know. What is that from? They brought Duncan Go Nuts back?
Well, that doesn't make any sense because it says, is it a top? What is that?
Is that a custom card?
That was a Skybox set. I don't understand. I don't know. I've never seen that.
That must be like a custom card, right? I'm not familiar at all with that.
I have no
coming back.
idea.
And Dunkin' Donuts sued them when
they
did that originally.
So now the bankrupt Fleer is going to sue them. I don't know.
Can't imagine. I'm looking right now at Market Movers.
I don't see anything.
It is a promo card.
It's a promo from what?
It's a custom card, yeah.
Wow.
It's a custom card. Market Movers has sales history on it. They've been selling, there's 4 of them that have sold on eBay. They've sold anywhere between a low of about $18 and 2 of them did close to $70.
Jeez.
So it is a custom card. Somebody is just creating these custom cards, but the last one sold for $70 on eBay.
Interesting. We got some old school Topps Finest here. Double-double, Karl Malone.
That's pretty cool.
That's a refractor, double refractor.
Who's that next? Is that Gary Payton or who's over there next to him?
Rashard Lewis.
Oh, okay.
And that's from 2000, maybe like 2004 Ultra. That's a platinum medallion. Let's see, what else?
Find me one more, and then I'm going to have you come back in the studio so we can do our first giveaway of the night.
Okay, I mean, I got to go with the Ben Wallace Topps Finest refractor here.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Got the
it's not
coating
a
on it
rookie.
still.
Yeah, it's not a rookie. He was a rookie in 1996, actually undrafted, but just to add to that insane 1996 draft class. But that's still pretty sweet.
$10 for an old Topps Finest refractor with the coating
Hall
still
of
on.
Famer.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yep. All right, I got to point out one more while we're walking by, just quickly. I'll have Johnny. This might be 2000. I think it's 2000 Ultra. That Randy Moss gold medallion
Ooh.
Ultra. Sweet photo. I love gold medallions. They're amazing.
You can find some really cool, nice eye appeal older cards like that for not very much money.
Yeah.
Amazing what you can find sometimes.
That's an awesome one.
$30.
I liked this assignment, Jeff.
All right,
I don't
that was
want
a
to come
fun
back
one.
in. Do I have to?
Yeah, you can stay out there all day.
All right.
I know you can just stay lost.
Yeah.
Stay lost in the
Spend
card
my whole
shop.
paycheck.
There you go. All right, well, we're going to let TPott come back in. By the way, 353 people watching live right now. We appreciate all you guys tuning in. We are live tonight for the next about an hour and a half. We're going to be answering some more audience questions, doing some more giveaways. In fact, TPott's going to get us set up now for our first giveaway of the night. We're doing 3 giveaways total over the course of the night tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit more about market movers and some of the new stuff we've added to it recently. And then, of course, we're going to end the night tonight with trivia. If you've never been part of one of these shows before, Sports Card Trivia is just for Market Movers members. But it's a lot of fun, and even if you don't know a whole lot about sports cards, you can still jump in there and potentially win a prize. It's fun, and it's always a good competition amongst some of our most sports card savvy Market Movers members. I've prepared a fun trivia for us tonight, so hopefully you guys can jump in and take part of that. If you are not currently a Market Movers member, Rob, if you bring that promo code back up on the screen, promo code LIVE is going to get you 14 days free. You can sign up right now and then join trivia and join the rest of the show. Just go to sportscardinvestor.com, click Market Movers in the main menu bar, and use that promo code LIVE for 14 days free of Market Movers. All right, so TPott is currently gathering our entrance to our first contestant, our first contest.
And you do not need to enter multiple times. If you do, I remove the duplicates every time, so it's not gonna help, but you don't need to do it multiple times.
So if you did it once already, you're in for all 3 giveaways
whether
tonight.
It's before tonight or during the show. Yep. And then if you want to get in, I think, did you just mention that?
I told him how to. If you haven't registered yet for the giveaway, you do have to register for the giveaway once during the show, and you do that by clicking the link that is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, and you enter the giveaway right on that page. If you sign up for Market Movers tonight as a new member, then once you're signed up, go to that link at the top of the YouTube chat and enter the giveaway.
All right, we got 168 people on the first
great.
random here, so I always do it 3 times.
All right, so we'll go to
number.
TPOT's screen here if we could. We're going to randomize 3 times.
Yep.
And then how many giveaway slots are we doing on this first one, Nick?
We'll have 6.
6. Okay, so it'll be number 1 through 6 are going to get some packs.
All right, so I'm going to randomize it once and twice and a 3rd time. Bang. Okay.
There it is.
We got Tansy Products. We got Brettster32 Pesky, Brian Fuller, Steve-O 8008, and Michael Desmond.
Congratulations to you. And Lance Bowman, man, it's rough to be in the number 7 spot
It
when
is.
you do top 6.
always
Got to feel for Lance.
But it's no different
Lance
than number
took the L.
168.
That's
all
right.
the way down at the bottom.
That's true.
So
That is true. That is true. Maybe Lance, you're better than almost everybody else on the list. Just not quite good enough. Not quite good enough tonight. All right, let's go over to Nick, and we're going to rip some packs for those fine folks who ended up in the top 6.
All right. First person is Tansy Products.
Yep.
One moment. The top-down camera. Just one moment.
Oh,
Having a
Little malfunction.
our top-down camera died. Producer Rob's on the screen.
On
overheating.
the case.
Wow, look at that flannel Rob's got on tonight there.
Yep.
All right. Oh, now we got a top down. Look
There
at
we
that.
go.
Now we can actually see some cards. Beautiful.
Yep. Would have to do
right.
it the old school way and hold them
Yep.
up to the.
A refractor, Simeon Wilcher, Robert Wright
Did he
III.
transfer to Florida today, Jeff?
No, but we did get Xavier Lee from Princeton a few weeks ago. One of the other top guards in the portal.
Wasn't academically cutting it there.
Got a blue snakeskin. Ali Ziebel out of 150. First Bowman, UConn.
And she's a champion. She's a champion.
Awesome. All right, that was for Tansy. Second person was for Brettster 32. We'll do a pack of Resurgence. All right, Dorset, Cribbs, Richard Dent, Suggs, Refractor Cade Stover, Circuit Breakers Keon Coleman, Junior Colson, and a Brock Bowers.
Oh, they got a little Brock Bowers rookie card. Not so bad. Let's go.
All right, number 3 was for Pesky. And we'll do Bowman Baseball.
Who do you like in Bowman baseball this year, Teapot?
Greatness
You
Loading.
got a hunch on any of these
Acuna?
prospects? I know you're not a big prospect
I'm
guy.
not the prospecting guru.
That's cool. That's a cool insert there. Greatness
Looks
looming.
good.
Very neat.
And Slade Caldwell. I think that's another snake, maybe.
That's cool.
Humberto Cruz and a Bo Walker. Pack number 2 for.
You said that was like a
Pesky.
snakeskin deal?
Yeah.
It's got to be some type of short print.
What was, who was it again?
Slade Caldwell.
That's the reptilian, I think.
Reptilian.
The Gators have inspired everybody to make all these short print parallels now.
So, Topps continues to not use enough L's in the spelling of their parallels and inserts. Reptilian has 2 L's, and so does Crystallized, but not on their checklists.
Interesting.
Yeah, they spell them wrong. So I
All
almost
right.
didn't find it. I'm sure. I got to look it up now. I think Reptilian should have 2. Slade Caldwell, Reptilian, $8.
Okay.
Number 4 is for Brian Fuller.
Apparently, it's only 1 L on Reptilian.
Wow, so Topps was right and you were wrong.
Topps, hey,
Look at that. Look at that.
once in a blue moon.
What do we got, an X-Fractor coming up?
McNeely.
Okay.
Trent Perry.
We're hitting lots of Virginia parallels. On the,
Yeah, it's not so good. Virginia was not so good this year.
Not these days.
Not so good.
Haggerty. Is that like light blue?
Oh, Michigan State, that's your boy.
Xavier Booker.
There you go.
Yep.
It's your boy, Teapot.
Yeah, not numbered. Prince Aligbe. So that was for Brian Fuller. Number 5 is Steve-O. And then we'll do another pack of
I
Resurgence.
just saw a message retracted from Blabbin' About Slabbin'. From
Oh, Blabbin'
one
About
of
Slabbin'
Jeff or
in the
Chris.
chat.
Message retracted. Now I want to know what they said.
Charles Woodson. Ooh, we got an autograph, and it's thick.
We got an RPA. What we got here?
We'll go to the back first.
All right. Wait, we might have something. Who is this
Jalen
for? Who's
Polk.
this for?
Steve-O,
All right, Steve-O.
8008.
There you go. This could be a nice one here.
Jaden Daniels rookie
Okay,
as
that's
well.
good. Jaden Daniels, that's a good sign. Jaden Daniels base.
And
Let's see this.
looks like
what
a
we
Colt.
got here?
A Colt.
What do we got here?
Mitchell.
Who?
Donnie Mitchell.
Donnie Mitchell?
Very cool.
Not numbered. Patch auto.
Cool looking card.
Yeah, that's a
Amped up.
cool
I
looking
can't see
card.
his name, but amped up.
That's cool.
Yep.
Get juiced.
Look at that.
All right.
Very nice. All right, there you go. There you go. Nick's got a little something going on
Nick's
today.
doing much better.
Nick
than
is doing much
this
better.
month.
Last week was sad.
Last month was
Last
like-
month was sad. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he's hitting some mid-range value on some stuff.
He's returning to respectability, which we appreciate. Our Market Movers members appreciate.
Yep.
Teapot, let's do a little Market Movers update.
Okay.
I know we did a little enhancement to Market Movers desktop that I find pretty helpful, and maybe you could show that off to the crowd if we can get your laptop screen up there.
Yep.
There it is.
Just continuing to chip away at some both cosmetic improvements as well as UX improvements. So I showed last month what we call the quick search on mobile, on the mobile app, and we updated some things now on web. So you'll just notice that the look is a little bit cleaner, stands out a little bit more, and you can add cards now to your collection right from the quick search. So there's now 3 ways to add cards to your collection really easily in Market Movers. This is one of the ways now. I can click on this and pop it into my collection. Of course, I can still chart cards, and we made changes to how that works, so I can chart multiple cards and compare them at the same time. You can also add a card to your collection anywhere you see that little plus button. So on the flyout or on other screens like price movements, you'll see it. I'm on a small screen right now, but it's in collection here. And then, of course, you can always go into collection and click on add card and search for the card that you want to add that way. I do want to point out one other thing really quickly, which is we are working on simplifying Market Movers quite a bit over I would call it like between now and the end of the year. We're doing some pretty significant changes to the app. One of the biggest pieces of feedback we hear is that there's so many features, people don't always know how to use the product when they get into it. We do have help tutorials in the help menu. You can go to video tutorials and watch and understand and learn how to use every one of these features in the app, but we want to make it even more intuitive. And so we're kind of going to be folding some things in together. And one big piece is like the dashboard itself. It's a summary of data, but it doesn't get a lot of usage. We've polled our members. They don't really find a lot of value out of it. We removed the collection chart on web and mobile recently from this page. It's still there. So on web and mobile, if you go into web, for example, I can click on this. I can still see my collection details in here in the collection chart. Same thing on web. Actually, right when you go into collection, it'll show you your chart. We're sort of moving in the direction of putting it behind a button too, so that you jump right into your cards. So we also just made some cosmetic updates to collection itself recently so that you can see what category you have your cards stored in. Kind of just tidied it up, made it look a little bit better. And this is my favorite view, which our internet doesn't always support in the office. We're getting it fixed soon, but you can just scroll down and just see your entire collection, all the different cards that you've got. And I've got, 24 pages of 20 cards loaded in here, and that's probably not the tip of the iceberg.
What's that? What's that Skeens card at the bottom, bro? What's that?
Let's see. This one?
Yeah.
That was one of the Arena Club hits that we got.
Nice.
So that was an orange
shimmer refractor to 25. Yeah, I remember when you got that one.
Yep.
That's What's that card right below it?
Which one?
That image card, that full card there.
This one, this is the true photo of Scooble. So Topps does the true photos where they remove the border, so they're short printed, almost like the Golden Mirror SSPs or other things.
That was from
this is
Series
from
1,
this
2025
Series
Topps
1.
Series 1.
Yeah, so I have both
Wow,
true
look at
photos.
that.
Yeah, so they made him a full bleed borderless card as a short print, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, you won't find many more eclectic Market Movers collections than what I've got loaded.
Yeah, you got loaded everything there.
Yep.
That's cool. All right, good to see. All right, hey, thank you guys for joining. Let's check in with the chat here. Check in with the YouTube chat. See what is going on here. Buster Chestnut. Let's see what's going on here. Jordan Riker wants to know what time trivia starts. Wow, Jordan Riker's back with a vengeance tonight. We'll see how he does tonight.
Jordan's always working. I think he just locks in when it's time.
Trivia will start at 9:50 p.m. Eastern time, so get ready for that. Let's see what else is going on here in the chat. JNN Collectors wants to know if anyone is going to Shipshawana show this weekend. I've never been to Shipshawana, TPott, but I've heard that is one of the better car shows. People really like that show. I would love to get there sometime. Haven't had the opportunity to do it yet. JHJ has noticed that the deals section can be slow, meaning if there's a good deal and he tries to go buy it, it's already sold out by the time he clicks on the card.
So one thing I can tell you is we do get some affiliate, commission through those links in our app, which definitely helps. And our deals page has been seeing an uptick. Month over month, more people are using deals. We're seeing it in our app analytics, and we're seeing it in the affiliate revenue that comes through the deals feature. And it's honestly one of the ones that we have some, I think, good plans for with our database expansion that I've talked about in prior months to make it even more valuable. It's super clutch. I don't know, to use a youthful word, when you can go to a page and see cards or listings that are for sale relative to recent comps. Just like it's like putting a spotlight on stuff. So it's no surprise to me that those zap out really quickly.
Right.
You know, people see them in there and they're like, I'm going to go snatch that. So, yeah.
Appreciate it. Chris Erler is a new member, says he loves the app. We appreciate you guys getting in there and checking it out. Thank you, Chris, for being part of that. Let's see. The Bro Stash wants to know, how do people typically use collections? I guess you could show that off a little bit more if you wanted to. We've got the Tar Heel Books, who feels I should be wearing a Market Mover shirt. Might be a fair criticism. Just normally wear black shirts.
Yep.
That's kind of all I wear.
Yep.
Keeping it simple. Kind of boring with that.
Keeping it simple.
Let's see what else we got here. Free Mind wants to know when we are opening up more Cards HQ stores in other states. Free Mind, that will be happening in 2026. Next year, we will be opening at least one, if not more, Cards HQ stores in other states. Stay tuned. We're not ready to announce exactly where yet, but we are working on that. Buster Chestnut says the mic keeps popping and cracking a little bit there, Rob. I don't know if you're catching any of that.
I keep it's these earpieces.
TPott likes to rub his mic against his body and make all kinds of...
I just have I don't know, these things are a little too big for my
We are having
my
a little
ear.
bit of technical. If we could just unplug the audio for like half a second and then plug it back in.
Oh, unplug.
What does that
He wants
mean?
to unplug the audio for half a second.
I should...
Do we need a moment of silence?
Just a quick moment.
Oh, wow. That sounds dangerous.
This is
Okay,
this
here we
is
go.
the equivalent
Here we go,
of,
people. Stand by.
high
Stand
risk.
by. We're
Okay.
fixing the crackling. Is the crackling gone? Is that good? Hopefully they didn't lose us forever. Are we good, Rob?
Yeah, we're back.
Thank goodness.
Are we good?
Thank goodness. Somebody wanted, somebody wants to know about the National, what our plans are, and if there's plans for Market Movers members. Couple things I want to announce regarding the National.
Yeah.
We are doing a free giveaway for one Market Movers member to travel to the National for free.
Yeah.
We put them up in the nicest hotel, connected to right across the street from the convention center. We're paying for their flight. We're paying for their stay there. They're going to have a VIP experience. Let's go back over to Nick, as Nick set this whole thing up. Tell people how they can win this VIP trip to the National.
Sure thing. So we even got VIP tickets for the event. Obviously airfare, hotels, chance to be included in some content while we're there. So really a great experience, especially if you've never been to the National before. To enter, all you have to do is be a Market Movers member when we do our drawing during next month's Market Movers Live. So got one more month. Tune in during that stream and we'll pick one lucky member along with one of their guests to go to the National.
That's going to be great. Member and a guest we're taking to the National. That's exciting. And then for those of you who are coming to the National, we will do a special happy hour event just for our Market Movers members. We also, within our booth, we're going to have a Market Movers booth at the National. For our unlimited members, we're going to have a special little lounge area there. So if you want a place that you can sit and relax for a moment during the National, which is those places and opportunities are very far and few between, we got you at the Market Movers booth. So we got you. So that's just a little thank you there as well for everybody. So come check. If you're going to the National, make sure to come check it out.
Yes, free drinks on Geoff, Buster Chestnut at the happy hour.
That is right. That is right. TPott and Nick will be working in the Market Movers booth the whole time. I will be wandering around the show floor and back and forth, and I'll see you guys there as well. So certainly looking forward to the National. But first, Fanatics Fest, which TPott you're going to go to, I'm going to go to, so we might see some of these fine members at Fanatics Fest as well.
Yeah.
Looking forward. We'll have a Cards HQ booth at Fanatics Fest, so if you make it to Fanatics Fest. Did you see what Michael Rubin announced today with this challenge? Did you see the news on this thing?
No.
This, I got to say, this is pretty cool. This, I think, is going to be somewhat of a game changer for Fanatics Fest and for this event. They're taking 50 random people who are attending the event. You have to apply beforehand. You have to film a little video and send it in. They're going to take 50 people who have tickets to the event, and then they're going to take 50 athletes who are at the event, from Tom Brady to Odell Beckham Jr.
Pair them up.
On down the list. And they're going to have a Mr. Beast style, like survival of the fittest competition between 50 normal people and 50 athletes, with the winner. And I don't know if the athletes are eligible. I'm assuming the athletes might not be eligible for the prizes. I don't know. The winner is going to win $1 million in cash to be given to them at the end at Fanatics Fest. Second place is going to win a Ferrari. And third place is going to win a 2003 LeBron James Topps Chrome Gold Refractor BGS 9.5.
That's higher than you have, isn't it?
Yeah, mine's a 9. The 9.5 recently sold for $285,000.
How do we get into this? If I win it, I'll sell it to you at a good price.
I would appreciate that. I would love for you to enter this thing. This is all going to happen at
gosh.
Fanatics Fest. I think it's going to be fun to see this whole thing play out.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of a big event there.
Yeah, way to overshadow our free trip, all expenses paid to the National.
Yeah. There you go. Well, you know what? We'll be at both. So there you go. Fanatics Fest is in New York City at the end of June, and then the National is in Chicago at the end of July. Wow. So hopefully we'll see you guys at both places. All right, TPott, let's do a quick little spinning wheel debate here, and then we're going to do actually our second giveaway. We'll do another giveaway for Market Movers members in just a second.
Okay.
But I'm going to spin the wheel. It's going to come up with a card, and then we're going to debate if this card is a good or bad investment right now. Is it a buy, sell, or hold? Here we go. Let's see who we get. Who do we get on the wheel?
Okay.
Bo Nix. Bo Nix. It would have been interesting if it came up with Jason Tatum. He was the one, right? I would have liked to have talked about that. But what do you think of Bo Nix? Are you a buy, sell, or hold right now on Bo Nix?
I always worry about sophomore slump.
Yes.
Always.
We saw it last year with CJ Stroud.
We see it all the time.
In a big way.
It's a real thing. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable how much there's a sophomore slump with some athletes. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they get paid or what. I don't know if they just get it too much inside their own heads. Who knows? Or teams just figure them out in the off season. But Bo Nix started out okay. Mm-hmm. Summer camp last year, he showed some flashes, but also had some really bad, embarrassing moments. And like preseason too, or like heading into the season, I should say. And then he just started to turn it on, and the Broncos actually had a decent season last year. So I tend to believe in him. He's an older quarterback, coming out of college, and maybe that's helped him. So I tend to believe in him. But as with all young quarterbacks, I'm a sell before the season ever starts, before injuries can strike or they can start 0-3 or anything bad can happen. Even if he starts out 3-0, I don't know what his schedule is, it's probably not going to help. Unless he just lights the world on fire. So I do think there's a buying opportunity between now and the season, probably still. So in that regard, I'm a buy, but the jury's still out as far as what's going to happen with Bo Nix long term.
Well, you just said a very important keyword that I think anybody out there deciding if they're going to buy or sell Bo Nix cards should pay attention to one of the keywords you just said, and that is how are they going to start the season out?
Yeah.
Because the schedule has a big impact. Let me zoom in a little here. So the
Titans,
Broncos
Colts.
start the schedule. They start their year against the Titans. That is probably a win.
That's a win.
Week 2, they play the Colts. That is a very winnable game.
Sure.
Week 3, the Chargers becomes maybe a little tougher, but
a coin flip.
It's probably a coin flip type game. Week 4, the Bengals. That one's going to be a little tougher. Then you get the Eagles quite a bit tougher.
Yeah.
But you know what? It only takes a couple of weeks of good performances and hype. And if Bo Nix starts out 2-0 with wins over the Titans and the Broncos, maybe 3-0 with a win over the Chargers, Bo Nix stuff will be going up, up, up. He will be, I guarantee, if they start 3-0, he's going to be on the top 5 list that week with his cards having gone up. I guarantee it.
4-4 to start the season. They could be 2-0 to start the season. So
yeah.
We'll see.
There you go. So yeah, always pay attention to the schedule when making a decision like that. So I will, might sprinkle a little bit on Bo Nix. I think he's a semi-buy right now. We'll see. All right, let's do another one.
Okay.
Oh, here you go, Jacob Wilson. So your rookie of the year favorite. I tell you what, I had somebody cook me. Just got absolutely cooked, run over by a truck, cooked on Veriswap.
Say cooked.
On Veriswap on a Jacob Wilson trade. I just got cooked. So here's what happened. This was before the season started, I traded somebody on Veriswap, and as part of the trade, they threw in a Jacob Wilson first Bowman green refractor number /99. PSA 10.
When was this?
This was before the season started. This was before the season started. I didn't know who Jacob Wilson was. Didn't know. Just like, who's this? It was weird. We were getting a bigger deal done. It was just one card they threw in as part of a bigger deal. I looked at the value. I think it was like $90 or something at the time. I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's a color match with the A's. I don't know anything about this Jacob Wilson kid. I'll take the card. So I took the card. We got the trade deal done. The card goes into my vaulted Veriswap, and it sits there. Season starts. We get about 3 weeks, 4 weeks into the season. All of a sudden, I start getting offers on my Jacob Wilson card. I'm like, oh, I got some interest on this guy. Look at this. This is great. This card that I never thought I was going to move. I didn't even know if this guy was any good. I got like 4 offers in one day on this Jacob Wilson kid. I'm like, that's cool. So I looked at the offers. One of them was decent. And I was like, oh, I accept the offer. It was like $20 more than what I had traded for it in trade value the month prior.
Then you ran the top 5 and realized
then,
number 1.
literally, then it was like 2 weeks later, and I do the top 5 cards, and he's number 2 in the top 5 list. I'm like, wait. What?
Yep.
Hold on now. What's going on? Jacob Wilson is doing what? This guy's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year? Wait. The A's are surging? Like, I don't even pay attention to the A's. What's happening here? Now, this kid's card, that card has probably gone up 300% 400% since the beginning of the season. So whoever traded me on Veriswap for that card, they are just loving life right now because they got themselves a deal on that Jacob. Well, it was a nice card too.
Yeah.
Green Bowman to 99.
Jacob Wilson swings at everything. He's only got 10 walks this year and a 343 batting average, which I believe leads. Well, Judge is leading the American League, but he's up there. 1.4 WAR, having a fantastic year so far. The A's have a lot of young talent. They've shown some signs, obviously a franchise in disarray, but he's exciting. I don't know. We'll see. He doesn't have a ton of power. It's tough for me to see him hitting all the other milestones on the Red Rookie Redemption to win MVPs and other things, but he's a solid young player.
All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I should never have sold or traded Jacob Wilson. So that was my bad. I'm not one to give Jacob Wilson advice at this point because I already messed up with Jacob Wilson. Okay. Let's prepare, TPott. I think we could prepare for another giveaway. I'm going to do one more wheel spin while you're doing that. We're going to do one more rapid fire go on the old wheel here. We got Alex Bregman. This guy's been putting up some numbers.
Yeah.
He's been doing some things this season.
Yeah. Ask Nick what he thinks about that.
I'll tell you what I think about Alex Bregman.
Okay, you tell me.
You know what that means? That means breaking ball. That means fastball.
Oh man,
that means slider. That's what that means.
It's never gonna die.
That's what I think of Alex Bregman right there.
So original.
I will never be a buy. I will never be a buy on Alex Bregman. I do not buy cheaters. Although actually I would like to own a Shoeless Joe Jackson card. I will buy a Shoeless Joe Jackson card, but I will not buy an Alex Bregman card.
I don't think Shoeless Joe cheated. I think he told the truth. I think he bet on the game, but he didn't. He took the money, but he didn't throw the game.
I mean, he did bat like what?
Yeah.
Close to 400 in the World Series that year. So,
Bregman's been on fire. I've been on record before the season saying that I was hoping that the Tigers would not pay huge money to bring Bregman in, and apparently it was a 11:59 decision change to switch from the Tigers, it had been said for over a week prior to him signing with the Red Sox that he was going to the Tigers, and then the Red Sox just came in with their offer and he decided to go with them. So he's having a fantastic season for them. I was just worried about, I don't know, I just had a pit in my stomach, like this is going to be another Javi Baez contract, which right now Javi's playing really great, but Bregman's good. But I think he's going to kind of fly into that category of the Hall of very good for his career. Like he's got solid career stats, very solid already to this point. 2017 rookie, but I don't see him like cracking through to the upper echelon at any point soon, like to get into the big name conversation. So,
all right, what do you guys think? Let us know in the YouTube chat. In the
Red
meantime,
Sox are stanky.
Yeah, Braves took 2 or 3 from him.
Yeah, Tigers.
Watched one of those games the other night. Chris Sale got the victory back in Boston. It was good to see.
Yep. All right.
Oh no. Grim in the chat. If I wanted to buy cheaters, I'd buy into Backyard Breaks.
Oh, no.
Or We the Hobby. Oh boy. Oh boy, Grim.
Ooh.
Wow.
Shots
Wow,
fired.
Grim bringing the heat in the chat. Goodness gracious, that's funny.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
All right, we got 190 some, I think I saw on here for the random. Or
Let's
for
do
the,
it.
For the random, for the giveaway.
Let's
It is
do it.
random. So we're going to go 1. 194.
Are we taking the top 6 again here, Nick?
Top 6.
Okay.
3.
There they are.
John Barger, Rick Sanchez, E Downs, Upper 9 DV, Melnet Sports, and Tom Cobb 12. I believe Melnet was the one shouting out time for some teapot to start the show. So
Oh, look at that. You rewarded him
Thank you,
with your
Melnet Sports.
fake randomization.
Aha,
Just
yeah.
cheated to get him into
Loaded-
that 5th spot.
loaded breaks.
Your
here.
loaded randomizer.
Yep.
All right, let's open up a few packs for these folks, Nick.
All right, first person, John Barger. Going back to baseball. Rodriguez, Drew Jones, Salvi, Clanahan, Bazana's bases loaded cards. I guess that's in a card shop. Cabrera, Hagen Smith, and a Pablo Guerrero. Pack number 2. Will Simpson, Jonathan Long, Yelich, Matt Olson, Drew Gilbert, top 100,
That's cool.
Staffura, Jancel Luis, and an Arun Escobar. All right. Number 2 is for Rick Sanchez. Back to basketball. Solomon Ball, Scotty Middleton, Campus Icons Anissa Moro, Refractor, and a Robbie Avila. Villa. Pack number 2, Alex Caravan, Celia Swords, Acropolis, Con Nipple,
Robbie Avila, man. Legend.
and McKinley Randolph. All right.
Chat is spicy tonight. My goodness. This chat is spicy.
A little spicy.
A lot of spice in the chat tonight. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah.
By the way, Ariel
It's gonna be a full
is
moon.
trying to claim that Ariel was the first one in the chat.
Well, I didn't say first one. I just said was
Okay.
early, like in the chat, just saying like time for some teapot, you know. So
Yeah.
just, you know,
Number 3 for E Downs.
E Downs,
Back to football.
E Tops.
Herman Moore,
Yeah.
John Randall, Darrell Revis, James Harrison, Steve Young Refractor,
That's cool.
Green, Voltaic, Jonathan Brooks out of 149, Edgerrin Cooper, and a Jermaine Burton rookie.
Okay.
Is that your second Jonathan Brooks numbered card?
Was
in
it
this
Jonathan
box?
Brooks,
I think
the
it was,
blue
wasn't
that we
it, the first
had?
time? I think so.
I don't know.
I think it was.
1 box, 2 numbered,
There you go.
Voltaic,
What
Jonathan
Are we
Brooks.
guaranteed autos out of that box?
We got the Adonai Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Kick Drifter in the YouTube chat, I did a NASCAR National Treasures box break with Ty and Austin Dillon a couple years ago. That was actually pretty fun. Go search our YouTube channel for Ty and Austin Dillon, and you'll find, did a couple of episodes with them. That was pretty fun.
Oh, Blabbin's asking if you picked up any more Super Freeman Superfractors. I don't think so, but wait until they. Can we show that?
Oh, yeah, grab that.
I'll
Johnny,
grab it.
Johnny,
Here,
grab
okay.
this. Hold on.
You guys are. Yeah.
Here, no, just grab me the thing.
I don't know.
Grab me the thing.
Jeff
Bring
or
the thing
Chris,
over.
reveal yourself. I'm
no, no,
guessing
no, that
That
other
must be
one.
Chris.
Huh?
This must be Chris. This is
Is he
the
going to be
problem
upset
with
about
me.
this?
No, but this is no.
he gonna be upset
It's
about
gonna-
this?
You,
Oh my
you
God,
gave
look
you
at this
paid
thing.
you gave this
Look at this
the
thing.
due. Yeah, let's
Look at
get
this thing. This
Johnny
is
on
the
the
this
camera.
is the Freddie Freeman. This is the 3D. I don't know how well that display is picking up on the camera. Bringing it back over here, but this
It's
is
so
the
sick.
the Superfractors have their due. The two Superfractors have their due. So there you go. There you go. Look
They're
at
meant to be together.
That's
Jeff.
right.
They're meant to be together.
that. Yeah, I want to display these in Cards HQ. We're going to do a wall display
Yep.
of some of my collection in Cards
2011
HQ. so,
Finest, Superfractor, and Gold Canary.
yeah. Yeah, there we go. Can you get a close up of that, Johnny? Of the cards? See if we can switch to that. There you go.
Yeah.
There they are. There's the supers. So the true Superfractor 101,
Custom display.
and then the Gold Canary Diamonds one of one. Those are the two one-of-ones from, and you get a little 3D effect with the Atlanta Braves icons in the back of the design there of that.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That's the jam right there. Awesome. Cool. They had that Wisconsin Collectibles. This is a new company that's making card display backgrounds. They're making like custom card displays. I'm going to post about them to Instagram. They're not fully set up yet, but watch my Instagram, and like in maybe a couple of weeks, I'm going to post about them and their new displays and everything like that. It's pretty cool what they're doing. Their displays are really amazing. Where are we at? We got to open some more packs, right?
Yep, number 4. So upper 9 DV.
If I win trivia tonight, can I have that?
I'll let you take a photo of it if you win trivia tonight.
Take my picture with it.
Ellie De La Cruz, Christian Campbell. He's having a good year. Brito, Owen Wild, Wen Hui Pan. Second pack. Rafael Flores, Giancarlos Lara, Jackson Jobe, Rafaela. Ooh, there's a nice rookie right there. Kumar Rocker.
Oh, look at that. You got a rocker
Rookie of
auto.
the year.
That's cool.
Out of 150.
That's pretty cool. There you go. Congratulations. That's actually a really nice card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
die
rocker
cut.
auto to
That's
150.
pretty cool looking.
Yeah, that's a good one. Very good.
Chen Wei Lin, Richard Maddock, and a Jacob Bresnahan. And that was for upper 9 DV.
Very nice.
Number 5 is for Melnet Sports. Back to football. Kuechly, Walter Payton, Chris Carter, Keyshawn Johnson, a pink Byron Murphy II out of 199 for Seattle, conductors Jordan Love, Xavier Leggett, and Devontae Walker. And then number 6 is for Tom Cobb 12. 2 more packs of Bowman Chrome U.
All right, well, he's opening this last pack. I'm going to go out to
Cooper.
the aisles here.
Yep.
You're going to give me an assignment here in just
I will
a
give you
minute.
an
All right.
assignment, yeah.
All right.
Looks like we got an orange Jaleel Bethea out of 25, social studies. I don't know anything about that, TPott?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing much social studies at the U.
Nice little color match, though. Johnny Broom.
Good thing Jeff didn't see that. It's not Florida State. But
Jeremy Fears.
There you go.
Xavier Booker. Hannah Hidalgo. Facilitators. And a Diamond Johnson.
Okay. All right, let me turn up the mic. Was that everybody, or you got
That's
one more?
everybody.
Okay, we got everybody. So Jeff's out in the aisles. You can hear me?
Here. Hello, hello, hello.
All right, actually, you're in the wrong spot. I want you to go over to the sealed product.
Oh, sealed products.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
doing a
let's-
video. I'm going to
let's-
record a video tomorrow afternoon. It'll go out next Monday about investing in sealed product, which I think you and I both kind of agree tends to be one of the better
It can be.
overall investment opportunities. So show off some things that you like to rip. If I know you've gotten into the breaking booth a little bit, just fun rips.
Yep.
But also kind of talk through the process. If you see anything that you're like, think is more of like a long-term investment play and why.
Okay, that's great. Okay, all right, we'll start. You know what? I'm gonna show you some different things. Let's start over in soccer because we were talking today, TPott, about Lamine Yamal, right? And you've talked about how this guy could be a generational player. He is actually number 1 in the top 5 cards today. So I'm seeing, do we have any of last year's soccer releases still? We've got the brand new UEFA that just came out. So that's second year Yamal. So this is last year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be rookie Yamal.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we hit a red Yamal auto to 5.
Really?
In our breaks the first day that product released.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would stick a couple of these 2023-24 Yamal rookie year. Those are breakers to light boxes.
Yep.
Those would be good ones to stick away. You could also potentially stick away Merlin. That's 2023-24 Merlin. So you got Yamal rookies in there as well. If you wanted to stick away a couple of products. So that could be something to think about in terms of Yamal. Let's go over here to basketball.
And I want to show, maybe we can switch to my screen real quick because we do track sealed products in Market Movers. So you can see, we track that. You can add this to your collection. You can track your sealed portfolio over time to see how products are performing. So that is an option.
There you go. If you want to talk about investment, Teapot, in basketball, I mean, maybe is the Caitlin Clark train going to continue to just pay off forever, because that's her WNBA rookie prism. I mean, those boxes are already expensive, $959 a box. But you've got to think that if Caitlin continues to do what she's been doing and the hype continues to be that big around her, that's going to be an iconic box that people are going to still hunt, Caitlin Clark cards 10, 20, 50 years from now. What's kind of funny is this is a men's prism from last season. It is less than half the price. Literally, look at that. We've got men's prism basketball at $449 a box, and then the women's WNBA next to it was $959 a box.
And there's one reason for that, and one major reason, and that reason is what, Geoff?
Well, it's the difference between the rookie classes.
Exactly.
I mean, there's not as much star power.
Yep.
There's very little star power in men's basketball this year, unfortunately, amongst the rookies. I actually think, Teapot, maybe it's a little undervalued, because that is cheap, $449. I mean, relatively, right? $449 is not, quote, cheap. However, relative to every other year of Prism basketball, that's cheap. And so, what if one of those guys actually really does break out in a couple of years?
Yeah.
That might not be a bad pickup, honestly, as a value play.
I'm going to look, while you keep strolling, I'm going to look at basketball sealed products in the movements.
Ethan told me that Ethan's calling me over here. Ethan's in our live selling booth. What is going on?
We're ripping some personals.
What is this?
Look at that. Look
Wow.
at that thing.
Look how cool that card is.
What is that?
Pieces of the
So
past
that's actual handwriting.
of George Washington and John Adams.
George Washington and John Adams, like handwritten letters?
Yeah,
Wow.
all guaranteed stuff.
That's wild. A
just hit
dual George Washington and John Adams. Wow.
I couldn't believe
That's
it.
pretty crazy.
I couldn't believe it.
You were just breaking that for somebody?
doing
Somebody did a personal rip? Okay, there you go. That's a product called Pieces of the Past. All of our live studios are live. We're doing TCG over here. That's our Pokemon studio, Cards HQ Pokey. And then I think Cards HQ Breaks is live over here as well with Haley. All right, let's talk about football, Teapot. Let's see what's in the football aisle. How about this, Teapot? Look at that. SP Authentic. We got Brady rookie year stuff in the football aisle. That's pretty fun. So we got some boxes of 2000 SP Authentic football, Brady rookie year.
And I mean, one of the ways we get this stuff, Geoff, is by other people who have been stockpiling this stuff for 10, 20, years plus.
They do, and then we buy it off of
and
them.
then they're ready to move it, and
Yep.
we buy it off of them, and somebody else who wants to take a risk or keep it going, and in the investment piece.
Yeah, we bought
they
8
buy it.
boxes off somebody
Yeah.
here, and so they probably bought that back, whenever for a couple $100 a box, and then maybe even $100 a box, and now they're flipping it for flipped it to us, and we got it for sale for $3,000 a box.
Yep.
This is kind of fun. 2020 Prism Football is a fun one as well. Just with all the quarterbacks, that one's such a good possibility of getting like a Hall of Famer or two, their rookie cards in that. I mean, between Burrow, Jordan Love, Herbert, Hurts, Tua, who else is in there? I think Justin Jefferson's 2020. I think Jonathan Taylor's 2020. I mean, you could be talking 3 or 4 Hall of Famers in that product eventually.
Yeah.
So that one might not be a bad one to buy and stick away either.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be my number one point when you're thinking about like buying sealed product, is who's in that rookie class is really what makes or breaks it.
Yeah. And then baseball, we got some cool baseball stuff. Look, we got 2008 Topps. That's a kind of a crazy old baseball box there. That's kind of cool. We got some, look at this, Teapot. I don't know if you've seen, but we started stocking up on some junk wax.
I have seen that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm glad that we're doing this. We just wanted to put some like old products out here
a
that
nice
people.
little corner of nostalgia for me.
Yeah, I mean it's like $1.99. You can come rip.
Yeah.
You can come rip for $1.99 a pack. You can come rip some of this old junk wax
Some
era
of those
stuff.
packs were $1.99 back then.
They were. There's not
this-
been much appreciation on some of
This
that
is the example
stuff.
of the stuff that doesn't always pay off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't always pay off, but we got a whole bunch of them here. Let's let's see what else we got on baseball, and then I'm going to head back into the studio. This is the newer stuff. This is the new Bowman, Topps Tribute, National Treasures Baseball. Too early to know how investable any of this stuff would be.
Yeah.
Really comes down to how, if you've got any of the prospects from 2025 Bowman that end up sought after over time. If so, those boxes could be very valuable, but you'd have to have a kind of a breakout prospect who goes on and becomes a Hall of Fame type candidate for one of those to really be a good long-term hold.
Yep.
Just depends. It's all driven by the rookie class or the prospect class with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So cool.
I will tell you while you're coming back in that the 2024 Prism Hobby is the cheapest of any of the years of Prism
Really?
basketball. Yeah, at $425. I didn't know this, but 2014 has pretty much cratered along with Joel Embiid's card prices. That is down
Interesting.
to $480.
Yeah, we got a couple of other years I'm noticing. We got 2020, which is probably pretty hot right now because of Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny that 14's that low. Oh, we got another year over here too. What is this? 23? Yeah, I think that's 23 Prism. So yeah, we got some older stuff too. Yeah, I don't think we have any 2014 though. Good to know, because if we did, apparently that would be in a downward spiral right now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna work my way back into the studio, Teapot.
All right.
What do we got next?
Next up, we've got favorite feature or biggest movers. So
You want to just call up the price movements here?
yeah, I can do that.
Let's call it price movements and see if anybody is jumping out at you or I here.
All right, let's look at like the last 30 days. I'm gonna do graded, and let's do 50 sales. Let's see if anybody jumps out at us here. Let me put in baseball, basketball. Let's do some hockey. That's going on right now. We got football. And let's see what else. See if anybody in golf's popping off. Is
Golf, wow,
Rory's-
that'd be something, huh?
Is Rory still
Well, he
going
was for a
crazy?
while, but he didn't
Yep.
win this weekend. Now maybe got a little Scotty
Yep.
Scheffler popping off. I don't know.
The MMA guys. Let's look. All right. So I put in a bunch of different categories. I look at graded cards just to, kind of have consistent sales, typically more than raw. $30 average, 50 sales in the last month. And I will tell you, Max Fried, he looks like a, I don't know, I want to say a steal. He got a contract, but I bet Atlanta wishes they still had him.
Oh,
right now. He's
I'm sad we don't have Max Fried.
having
That
a
was big
fantastic
miss.
year.
That was a big miss.
Yep. Lamine Yamal is up 24%.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's up over the last month. Andy Pajes was definitely hot. I think he's cooled back down a bit in the last week at least. Not surprising to see Halliburton and Jalen Brunson near the top. Were they on the top 5 at all this? I didn't watch it today. I didn't see
Jalen
his-
Brunson was number 2 in today's top 5
Okay.
list. Yeah,
Yeah.
Halliburton wasn't on there.
Okay. Well, he may be next week.
He
Who
may be
knows,
next
depending
week.
on
Yeah.
how this series goes. Pete Rose, obviously, something of a big announcement. I don't
Yeah.
know if it means he will actually get into the Hall of Fame, and we were discussing that on Spitballing Cards and whether or not that'll really matter for somebody like him with his card prices. But he's gone up. It's almost like it's been a Hall of Fame announcement. Like you would think that's what typically happens. The announcement is made that a player has made it, is going to make it to
Right.
the Hall of Fame, and their cards spike up. And then by the time the induction happens,
Right.
they're back down to where they were, or maybe slightly up. So he's gotten that little Hall of Fame announcement bump in spite of not actually having been announced. in the
Yeah,
Hall
and
of
I mean,
Fame.
there's still plenty of people that don't think he's actually going to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right.
Baseball's now said it's
Straightforward.
okay.
Right.
But I mean, Bonds has been eligible for the Hall of Fame. McGuire's been eligible for the Hall of Fame. But the voters have voted all these guys down. A-Rod. So why are they going to vote Pete Rose if they voted all the steroid? No, they won't let any of the steroid era guys in, right? So it may be the same thing. They may not vote him in, even though he's eligible. So, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. George Lombard Jr., anybody who's a prospect in the Yankee system seems to get a lot of buzz. Pete Crow Armstrong that guy's the real deal. I think he's pretty freakish and fast and just very electric and competitive and fiery. So not surprising to see him. We had the chat lighting up when you held up your Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
He's got a like 1.088 OPS and he's hitting like
He's great.
363 or something. He's just continues. He's one of the best hitters of this generation, honestly, overall, and very fun to watch. Really good guy, and had a heck of a playoff run last year. So, and then here's Jacob Wilson, still up 11% over the last month. Leo DeVries, I think he's number 3 now on the MLB Top 100 prospect list. Moved up quite a few spots. Very young. Filmington has been kind of all over him and prospecting on some of his stuff, hoping he pans out. Bregman, there he is, up 10.5%. Like you said, he's having a strong showing. So I don't know, anybody stand out on the upswing here to you? Mikko Rantanen, by the way, I didn't mention him, but we got the NHL playoffs going strong here.
Well, what's interesting, what stands out to me is that you got both Halliburton and Brunson back-to-back in the top 6. And 2 weeks from now, one of their cards will be up another 20 to 30%, and the other will be down 20 to 30%. So which ones are going to be?
Yep.
My money's on Brunson as the guy going up, but we will see. It's certainly going to be a fun one to watch. Minnesota, Oklahoma City currently tied at 24 in the second. Somebody in the chat said Anthony Edwards back in the locker room. If that's true, that's not good. So
yikes!
That's what somebody
It's
in the
tied
chat
at
said.
24 in the second. That's a pretty low scoring.
It is low scoring.
852.
Yeah.
I mean, these are two of the better defensive teams in the league.
Yeah.
Honestly. So,
Very low scoring so far.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I guess Minnesota just did a 3.
They did.
So there you go.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'll go back to this.
He rolled his ankle and is limping, says the chat.
He'll be right.
There you go. He'll probably be okay.
Yep.
Cool. Let's do this, TPott. Let's do a few more questions from the audience.
Okay.
Then we're going to do our third giveaway, and then coming up here in 25 minutes, we will do trivia. Trivia is a fun thing for everybody to play. It's open to any Market Movers member. You got to be a Market Movers member to get into trivia. But if you are a Market Movers member, join, play along. We're giving away a $100 Cards HQ gift card to whoever wins, $50 Cards HQ gift card to second place. By the way, you can use them online. On our website as well, on any of our cards or boxes. Third place gets $25, and then we'll pick one random person to win $25 as well, no matter where you place. So even if you're not good at trivia, you still got a chance of winning something. All right, let's bring up, and by the way, if you're not a Market Movers member, that promo code on the screen, promo code LIVE, gets you 14 days free. If you can sign up right now, go to sportscardinvestor.com, click Market Movers in the main menu bar, use promo code LIVE, and you can get into trivia tonight. Let's take an audience question here, TPott. What do we got? This one is from Michael David. Will Market Movers add a feature to purchase cards directly from Cards HQ, similar to the current buy button that links to eBay?
Yep.
Okay, do we have that now, or do we not have that now?
We don't have that now.
Okay. I know we've been talking about adding it.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if it was live
Yep.
yet or not.
Yeah, we definitely will have that. We're exploring more and more partnership opportunities with Cards HQ, and we hope to keep adding other platforms too, just to make a great overall shopping experience for people to be able to find things. But yep.
There you go. Coming soon to a Market Movers app near you. Let's open up a pack for Michael for the question.
All right, back to Bowman Chrome U.
I might be lying about that. I think we did just add that.
Did we just add a live? I know we were talking about it.
I think we just added that.
Okay. All
Dan
right.
should be in the chat.
By the way, he got
correct me if I'm
Michael
wrong.
got an
Oh, wow.
auto.
There you
Look
go.
at that Fletcher Lover.
Sorry.
Purdue. Nice little Purdue
Johnny just left.
refractor auto.
Johnny just left. Johnny, shout out Johnny, Purdue.
Yep. Fletcher Lawyer.
Lawyer, not Lover. Lawyer.
He's got a good autograph.
There you go.
And a Drake Powell. Pack number 2. Dylan Harper. Cooper Flag. There you go. Cannon Catchings. That's Flash insert maybe. And Patrick and
Very nice. There you go. Not a bad couple of packs. You got a nice refractor auto, and you got a Cooper Flag. Not bad at all. All right, let's take another question from the audience. This one from Eddie. Question for Geoff. How much would you recommend budgeting to open a brick and mortar collectible store like Cards HQ? I'm starting online as you suggest, but I'd like to know what it might take to open up a physical location after a few years of building a community. Appreciate the question, Eddie. So obviously a lot of that is going to come down to the scope of the store and what you can negotiate with the landlord in terms of tenant improvement. I'll tell you, Cards HQ, between build out and opening inventory and some initial working capital, we were about $2.7 million to get the card shop open. That was all in. But keep in mind, we have a 14,000 square foot space.
Yeah.
So you could do that a lot more cost effectively with a smaller space and with less initial inventory. You definitely don't have to do that. You could certainly do it for less than $1 million. But a lot of it's going to come down to just what you're trying to put into the design, how the landlord's helping you out with tenant improvement. It will take several $100,000 because you have to have some money going into build out. Maybe depending on the space, something much smaller. Maybe you could do a nice looking build out that's a couple $100,000. The landlord tosses some money in, as well on top of that, right? And then you got to get a decent selection of initial inventory in order to have something, for people to obviously come in and see. So you're probably at least $500,000 in, to get going, but you could probably get going for around that. That would be my guess. So probably somewhere in that range. I think if you save up $500,000, you could probably make it work. If you save up a little north of that, then you can have a little bit more in terms of inventory and build out. Obviously, if you want to go bigger with your store format, then you're going to get to $1 million plus. And obviously, if you go super big, then it becomes a few $1 million to get it off the ground. So there you go.
By the way, we do. I just forgot, honestly.
The Cards HQ cards are in there?
We have it in there. If you pop up my screen real quick before you rip that pack, Nick, we do. I just found this Sandy Koufax card on Cards HQ's website. So then I went and looked at the card, and here it is in the for sale fixed
Look at
price.
that.
So I can pop it open and
go right to Cards
go
HQ's
right and buy
website.
the Cards HQ item.
There you
So
go.
It's in there. I had a little bit of a lot of meetings today. So
Yeah, I think it might be showing up on deals now that you say that. I think I
so.
saw one earlier today.
Yeah.
On deals that was a Cards HQ card. So there you go.
There you go.
Awesome. All right, let's open up a pack for Eddie.
All right. Resurgence football. Sterling Sharp, Champ Bailey, Jason Witten, Fred Blitnikoff refractor, green autograph, Kurt Warner.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Nice auto too.
Out of
Love
15.
Kurt Warner.
To 15.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner auto to 15. Look at that. Good for you, Eddie. There you go. That could be part of Eddie's opening inventory for his card shop right there.
Glimmer and Gleam, Drew Brees, Jared Wiley, and a Joe Alt.
Nice.
Really nice.
All right. That's a nice card, Eddie. Congratulations. Let's go with our next question. This is from Eric. With this year's quarterback draft class being much weaker than last year's, what do you think is going to happen to the price of next year's football product? That's a great question. So you definitely don't have the same degree of chases, right? You got Cam Ward,
Yep.
Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel, then way down the draft board, Shadur Sanders, I guess, right?
Yeah.
A couple other
Who
quarterbacks
was
in
the
there
guy
as well.
drafted by the Saints that I never heard of?
Oh yeah, the guy from Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Louisville quarterback,
Something-
Tyler S. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. So yeah, I mean that might bring the price of this year's football product down some. It may. Now I'll tell you something. So this year is going to be a very unusual, one-of-a-kind year for football. You're going to get a full year of licensed football cards from Panini.
Yep.
All the sets.
Yep.
And then you're going to get a full release of all the licensed cards from Topps.
Yep.
You're going to have all the Panini sets and all the Topps sets for this season. And the reason why is the license switches from Panini to Topps on April 1st of next year. Panini's going to try to release all their football sets before April 1st of next year. And then Topps, come April, is going to quickly release football sets, fully licensed, for the previous season. Now, of course, it will be in April, then they're going to be releasing them for the season before. but you're going to get a full set. Topps has to really hope that some of those rookie quarterbacks do really well. If they have another Jaden Daniels situation with like maybe Cam Ward or one of the other guys, then then all those Topps products are going to be super hot, even when they come out in April and May and June and whatever. But if none of the rookies look any good, then that's going to take a little bit of the excitement away from those products. And maybe Topps prints and releases less of them as a result. We'll have to see.
I think Cam Ward's the only hope of that group, personally. He's the only one who I think has some potential. You never know, to me, when these guys get to the pros, like whether they can make the reads and then they make the throws. I know that sounds like, rocket science, obvious, but like, it's a different speed, it's a different pace, it's a different level of accuracy required. He's got the tools, so he could. Jaden Daniels showed last year that he could do that. And so Cam Ward could deliver, but I would have said the same exact thing. Like, it's going to be a really interesting year. I don't think I'd be stockpiling for investment purposes on any of this product right when it comes out, because there's just going to be a lot between the two manufacturers both doing it. It's going to be a bit of a wild year for football stuff.
It's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see what happens for sure. I know you're not TPott, but I will be rooting for Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is now a great underdog story, and I'm going to be rooting hard for Shedeur. I hope Shedeur makes it, becomes the starter, gets to a Pro Bowl, has himself a career, because he will be proving all the doubters wrong. And there are many, many doubters out there. So I hope that happens.
I guess.
We'll see. I'm going to root for the kid. I'm going to root for the kid. All right, let's open up a pack.
All right. Bowman Baseball again. This is for Eric. Mahia, Letson, Austin Riley, Lawrence Butler, Corbin Carroll, Robert Calaz, Javier Magolon, and Dylan Fine. First pack. Pack number 2, Ichiro Kano Hernandez, Chen Wei Lin, Imanaga, Gunnar Henderson, Greatness Loading Christian Moore, an X-Fractor Pablo Guerrero, Luis Morejo, and a Zach Showalter.
There you go. Very cool. All right, TPott. Let's. What's that?
I got him.
You got what?
The names.
For the next giveaway?
For the last giveaway.
Oh, you want to do? We'll do that in a. We got one more giveaway to go. We got a little bit. We got a few.
We got
can take a few more.
All right, I'll rerun
questions.
in a few minutes.
A few more questions, and then we'll do that.
I guess I was jumping the gun.
You were jumping. You're excited to get to trivia tonight.
Yeah, I was excited to get to trivia.
You think you're gonna? How do you think you're gonna do on trivia tonight? You think you're gonna win?
Last month you were like, I think you're gonna get all these right, TPott, and then I got 4 wrong, and had the defective Wi-Fi in this studio in this whole building, and I had one of maybe my worst showing ever, which was like 15th.
Yeah, you came in, 13th, I think.
It's something, but that was not. I'm not usually outside the top 10. That was not great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we were all disappointed in you last week. Last month.
I was disappointed in you.
But much like
Jordan Riker called. I talked to him afterward and said that was tough.
But
so whatever questions, I don't remember what you had. It was
much TPott. Much like Shedeur Sanders, I'm rooting for you to be the great American comeback story. Just like Shedeur. I want you to redeem yourself today, and I hope I'm rooting you on for top 3.
I'm gonna have to make it through Jordan, Wisconsin Collectibles, Jason Abernathy.
They smell blood in the water.
The chat.
They smell blood in the water. All right, let's
Parker
do it.
might be lurking. Who knows?
Let's do another question. This one from Eric. With this year's quarterback. We just did that one. Next question. This one from Abel. Market Movers has PSA population counts on certain cards, which is extremely helpful. Do you have plans to expand to BGS and SGC counts as well?
We have intentions.
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
We haven't done it. We've talked about it. I mean, to be honest, BGS is becoming less and less relevant, it feels like, by the week. And a lot of people are cracking BGS cards and moving them to PSA. So with a lot of cards, like BGS's population reports don't matter as much anymore. And SGC matters for vintage.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter for modern or ultra modern. Like the only modern and ultra modern cards for the most part that are being graded with SGC are lower end cards that are pretty common, and people don't really care about the pop reports as much. So there's not nearly as much value in the BGS and SGC population reports as PSA. Now, there are some exceptions to that. I think, some of the 90s cards, some of the 2000 cards, the BGS population report, there's still some of those cards of significance in BGS holders, but it just feels like it's mattering a little less and less every week. I don't like it. Honestly, I'd like BGS to kind of have a comeback as a company, but at the moment, it's just not super relevant. Doesn't feel that way to me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see, Abel. We'll see. Maybe down the road at some point.
It's in our backlog.
It's in our backlog. It just hasn't been the highest priority thing. Let's open up a pack for Abel.
All right, some more basketball. Harris Smith, Buki Fland again.
Boogie.
There you go. Go Gators.
Yeah.
Go Gators.
Avila.
Avila,
Robbie.
X-Fractor,
Guy's a legend.
Lowry.
Maybe I should put a bounty out on the Boogie Flynn Superfractor. I wonder if that's been pulled. Now that he's a Gator.
It's not in a Gator jersey, though.
Yeah.
Got a purple, Alabama, Aiden Holloway out of 399,
Gator bait.
and a Jaden Akins.
Bang.
Would have been Gator bait if you guys had beaten Texas Tech, but he couldn't get that done, TPott.
Couldn't get it
Couldn't
done.
get that done.
Couldn't get it done.
Would have set up the nice Florida-Michigan State matchup
Don't
in the
remind
Elite
me.
Eight.
Yep.
All right. Let's do another question.
Florida got so lucky.
From Jason, historically, pitcher cards have sold for less than position players. Do you think the recent Skeens hype has changed how collectors view pitcher cards and their value? I think Skeens is an exception to the rule and may reset a little bit back to the norm over the course of time when he's not everything like he is right at this moment in time, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a historical shift right now. I just think that you've got one exceptionally talented, memorable, hyped up pitcher that has kind of defied the odds the same way that Kerry Wood did back when he burst onto the scene more briefly, but back when he burst onto the scene with the Chicago Cubs, 30 years ago or whatever that was, right? So I don't think it's a shift, Jason. I think it's just one guy. That's kind of my take. But I don't know. What do you think, TPott? Am I wrong?
I think right now Paul Skeens is plus 200 to win NL Cy Young. He has a 2 WAR. He's got a 2.44 ERA. He's had, I think, one bad outing this year. Unfortunately, the Pirates absolutely stink and have no offense, so he's 3-5.
Yeah.
But less and less do people really look at that, and they focus on what the pitcher can control and not the runs that support them. And his prices are down 10% in the last 60 days.
Goodness.
So, hype.
Lots of hype.
Jeff, it's hype. And that's what I've said all along. Now, I was caught off guard last year at how much that hype carried him through the season and even after the season to some big paydays for some big speculators. But I think you're right. I haven't seen anything shift with any other pitchers at all.
Right.
With anybody. It's like Skeens, and unfortunately it's more likely that Skeens will just do what he's doing now, like leading the odds for Cy Young, but somehow not impressing people enough to carry the hype, the $1.1 million hype. And and then obviously there's the terrible injury risk to pitchers. And if either of those things happen, or if he just doesn't pitch as well, he's more likely to come back down to earth than the rest of the pitchers are to go up. I would like to see pitchers go up. I am a big fan of pitchers. I love watching pitching. It's my favorite aspect of baseball. But the rest of the people don't. I think it's just a little too complicated for the everyday fan to understand, how complicated it is and what they're doing and the cat and mouse and everything. It's easier just to watch swing and home run, and it's just everybody can understand that. So I don't know. I don't think so, personally.
The Tar Heel Books points out that Nolan Ryan cards are staying strong. They are, actually. Among every historical pitcher in the game, Nolan Ryan, his cards seem to get the most reaction out of any historical pitcher in baseball. His cards do, in fact, stay strong. I agree. But yeah, that is far and few between in terms of pitchers. Yeah. Let's get him a pack.
All right.
While you're doing that, I'm going to pull the
giveaway list up. We're going to do that here in just a second, and then we'll play some trivia. We'll do one more question after this, and then we'll do the giveaway, and we'll do some trivia.
Sammy Hernandez, Chase Hampton, Mookie Betts, Jace Young, Hiroki Sasaki,
Sasaki,
Rookie of the
There you go.
Year, die
Nice.
cut. Jack Penny, Alejandro Rosario, and an Alex Mooney.
Cool.
Pack 1. Pack number 2 for Jason. McGonigal, Jared Sundstrom, Kobe Mayo, Tarek Skubal,
Yeah.
Walker Jenkins, top 100. Another Walker Jenkins, Alex Mooney, and John Aker Ugarte.
There you go.
That was a tough one.
All right, one more question. Final question, and then we're going to do our final giveaway of the night, and then we're jumping into trivia for everybody. All right, this one is from Casey. Do you think Bowman First football and basketball cards will ever become as popular as Bowman First baseball cards? I don't think ever as popular, no, because Bowman First baseball's got the long lineage now, and also the minor league baseball thing and prospecting, it's just like more of a thing that's built into collecting. People consider the Bowman First cards to be like associated with a pro team, and that means more to them, whereas like the college cards, they don't consider to be associated with a pro team, so there's somewhat of a disconnect there. However, that said, I still think the Bowman First football and basketball will gain in popularity over time. I don't think they're going to catch baseball, but I do think they will gain in popularity. So I'm actually enthusiastic about the first Bowman cards of football and basketball for some guys who go on to become, big stars in the pros.
My opinion is, I think they need to make sure those checklists are as loaded as they can make them every
Yes,
year.
they
This
do.
year's checklist was goofy for basketball.
Yeah, it was disappointing for
Yeah,
basketball.
you didn't get any Florida
No,
Gators
no.
on the national championship team, and
No.
none of them are on
Not
the
a single
checklist.
one. Not a single one.
So I understand there's NIL, things that they've got to figure out, but they've got the dollars to figure that out, I would think. So figure out a way to make those product checklists feature the top tier. Anybody who's going to make it into the lottery for the NBA needs to have a Bowman First. Anybody who's going to be a top 15 pick in the NFL needs to have a Bowman First. We talked about football. Tyler Warren didn't have. There were a handful of guys in that top part of the first round that just didn't have any cards.
Yep.
So they need to have those and make it a consistent thing. It's rare these days. If you go back a decade, some players don't have Bowman First, Mookie Betts, and others, but Mookie, I don't know why I said that, but some players don't have Bowman Firsts, and so they, but nowadays everybody does in baseball. So yeah.
Agreed. There you go. All right, guys, appreciate all the questions tonight. Thank you for all of our Market Movers members. We're about to do our last giveaway of the night. As a reminder, if you've won anything tonight, any of these packs, from any of the questions or the giveaways, or from trivia that's about to happen in a minute, make sure to click that link on the top of the YouTube chat and fill out the winner prize form on down that page, because that way you can communicate to us how to ship you your winnings. So make sure to fill out that winner prize form. And TPott, we're going to do one more giveaway. Nick, how many packs are we giving away here as our last giveaway of the night?
We do six again.
6 more. Okay, so TPott, if you want to call up the list, we'll call up the screen share. If we could do that, Rob, get that up there. There it is.
Do we still need to open up a pack for our last question?
Oh, did I just skip by that? I did skip by that. All right, we'll do that in a second. Yeah, you're right. I skip by the packs for the last question.
Thank you,
So
Rob.
we'll do pack for him, and then we'll do these winners of the giveaway. Top 6 once again.
1, 2, 3. We got Brian Ellingson. We got Jordan Flabeau, Joe Adams, Chris Kissel, Darius, and Keith Iglesias.
There you go.
So those are our 6. Make sure you fill out the giveaway form, please, in the link.
There you go. Awesome. All right, so let's start. If you want, Nick, we'll start with the last question,
Sure.
and then we'll go through those 6.
This is for Casey.
Okay.
One more pack of football here. Devin Hester, Andre Rison, Ricky Williams, Phil Simms, Richard Sherman, green out of 399, or I guess that's just a refractor wave maybe. Xavier Worthy, refractor,
Rookie.
voltaic.
Not bad, not bad. We'll take.
Malik Neighbors, and a Cooper DeJean.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Those are fun cards.
All right, so on to the giveaway. Who was first, Teapot?
Sorry, just slacked it to you, but I can pull it up here. It was Brian Ellingson.
All right, Brian. 2 packs of basketball. Grant Nelson, Cam Scott, Prince Aligbe X Factor, and a Fletcher Lawyer. Pack 2, Cam Jones, Jaden Nunn, Jaleel Bethea again, Social Studies, Miami. This is the second one of these we've pulled, not numbered, and an RJ Jones. Number 2 for Jordan Flabeo into baseball. David Ortiz Jr., Emil Morales, Riley Green, Jackson Merrill, Christian Moore VIP, another Reptilian, Ricardo Yan, Jacob Wright, and Winston Santos. Pack number 2. Lucas Ramirez, Christian Moore, Rafael Devers, Aaron Judge, Rockstar rookies Luis Angel Acuna, Josh Nixon Garcia, Seaver King, and a Christian Campbell. That was number 2 for Jordan.
And before we get to the next pack, let me tell everybody out there, go ahead and get into the trivia game, because once we rip these last 4 packs, we're going to start the trivia game. The way you get into the trivia game is you go to that link at the top of the YouTube chat, and then right there's a link to the trivia game. So go into the trivia game, get set there, because we're going to start the trivia game in just a couple of minutes. All right, go ahead, Nick.
All right. Resurgence Football, this is for Joe Adams, Kurt Warner, Chad Johnson, Ed McCaffrey, Edgerrin James, Jared Wiley Refractor, Circuit Breakers Refractor Bucky Irving, Spencer Rattler, and a Theo Johnson. All right. Number 4 is for Chris Kissel. First pack of Bowman, Hayden Alvarez, Richard Maddock, Logan Gilbert, Acuna, Greatness Loading, James Wood. Insert.
There you go. That's your one of your hot rookies for sure this season. He's been doing great for the Nationals. He's been better than Dylan Cruz.
Emil Morales, Mitch Jebb. And the second pack, the Villarreal, Ricardo Yan, Brian Reynolds, Adley Rutschman. Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. What do we got here?
That
Who is it? I can't even tell.
Griffin?
That is awesome.
Griffin.
Look
Connor
at that.
Griffin,
Look
Pirates.
at that. Connor Griffin, the anime card. Look at that. That's really nice. Very cool.
$340.
No kidding.
Holy cow.
No kidding.
$340.
We just pulled a $340
$340
card for one of our Market Movers members during the live stream. Look at that. That is awesome. Who was the winner on that?
Chris Kissel.
Chris Kissel. Way to bring it, Chris. Way to bring it. Look at that. Chris Kissel just paid for Market Movers for some time. Look at that.
Not bad.
Very nice, Chris. Congratulations.
All of these will be sleeved and top loaded and sent to you guys very carefully.
Yep, for sure.
Jared Sundstrom, and then also an out of 350, Travis Bazana.
Bazana. That's big too. There you go. That's very nice. He was the lead guy in last year's product, so not as big this year, but still pretty cool. A lot of people excited about him.
That was quite the pack.
That was quite the pack. Look at that.
All right. Let's see if Darius with pack number 5, Resurgence, can outdo that. Terrell Owens, Marcus Allen, Howie Long, Randy Moss. Oh, we got a redemption.
Uh-oh. There we go.
We'll go to the back. Eric Dickerson, Latu, Brendan Rice, and this is for
Good luck. Good luck here. This could be good.
Resurgence rookie signature.
Oh, this could be nice. This could be nice.
Quinion Mitchell.
Okay.
From Philadelphia.
All right. All right.
That's nice.
All right. All
There you
right.
go. So we'll send that to you, and you can redeem that.
Much better month, Nick.
Yeah,
Much better pulls
you're doing
tonight.
much better today, Nick. You're
All
doing
right.
way, way better. You can keep this job. You're doing good.
It's lucky this time.
Almost had to call in a reliever. Call in Parker.
All right, number 6 for Keith Iglesias. This is the last one. Boateng, Carter Knox, Aiden Sherrill, X-Fractor, and a Cannon Catchings. And then last pack. Sonia Citron, Clifford Amoriuri, and Campus Icons, X-Fractor, Sonia Citron again, and Steel Venters.
There we go. All right, thank you guys, everybody. Congratulations on everybody, especially Chris. Wow, that was nice, Chris.
Dang.
Chris Kissel.
Yeah.
But congratulations to everybody who won anything. Make sure to fill out that prize winner form. And guys, it's time for trivia. So right now, if you have not yet, go hop into the trivia game. Again, this is just for Market Movers members. The way that you do it is you click that link on top of the YouTube chat, and then on that page, there's the link to get over to trivia. You can also go to sportscardinvestor.com/live. That will take you to that same page. And then from that page, click the link to go to trivia. I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to get into the trivia game. Then I'm going to start the trivia game. And the way that the trivia works, it's 10 questions. The questions will advance automatically. You get points. Obviously, you got to answer the question correctly to get points. But also, how quickly you answer it correctly gets you more points. So you want to be both correct and fast in your answers. And after the 10 questions, we'll see the leaderboard. Whoever comes in number 1 wins a $100 Cards HQ gift card. Number 2, $50. Number 3, $25. And then we will have one other random spot that will also get $25. So even if you're not good at trivia, please do play along. Enjoy it. Have fun. And of course, everybody is on a mission to beat TPott for some additional bragging rights. So we'll see if we can get that done today.
I'm doing it on my phone, on the LTE, 5G, whatever it is,
Okay.
to try to not have the
Okay.
delay from the bad Wi-Fi, which
Okay.
is verifiably bad and will be fixed hopefully by next month.
Yeah, Wi-Fi's been a little struggling a little bit here in the studio, but
right.
hopefully by next month it will be better. All right, you feeling good?
I don't know. We'll see.
You want me to start the
I'm
countdown?
exhausted. I'm not going to lie.
You want to
I'm-
get rolling? We had
fading.
125 players in trivia.
Let's
I think
let's
it's
do it.
I think it's time to get going here.
Let's get going. Let's do
Awesome.
it.
All right, good luck everybody. We are going to start the countdown and start the game right now.
You didn't start it, right?
It started.
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes.
I got a delay here too.
You can bring up my screen if you want there, Rob.
Appreciate the softball to start it out.
Okay.
you know?
All right.
Oh, wow. Everybody knew that.
Easy so far, huh?
Everybody knew that one. This one will stop some people. All right, Jeff.
All right, that was who we got here. Who we got here?
I got them all right. We'll see if that's enough.
Dylan Frankel in third place.
That's a high score.
Dylan Frankel, a good score.
It's a very high score.
Teapot in second place. Somebody beat you,
It's
Teapot.
Jordan. I'm sure it's Jordan.
No.
Whoa! We got a new player.
Pratham in first
We got
place.
a new player in the arena.
Pratham in first place tonight.
beat
Look
me.
at that.
My
Jordan in sixth place, Wisconsin Collectibles in fifth place, Baseball 500 in fourth place. So we got a lot of the big names in
no,
there.
Jordan's not.
Oh no, that's Jason. Sorry, that's Jason. Where's Jordan? Is he even
Jordan
on the
at
list?
17.
17th for Jordan?
Photo recognition.
Wow.
That
Wow. Gators 89 in 18th place. Shout out to the Gators right there.
Man.
Wow, a lot of familiar names here, but Pratham coming in first place today.
so the only two that I was below 80 on, I think, the Jaden Daniels one initially, when you were like,
Right.
all I could see was Jaden Daniels, and I'm like looking at it I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense, and then I realized what you were asking, and I think I got 65 on that.
Okay.
Same thing on the Pee Wee Reese.
Okay, so you got every
I got
single
them
one
all
right
right.
though. You got them all right.
Yeah.
But it was just a matter of speed. So
Yeah,
those
speed.
two you were a little slower
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
And Pratham was slightly faster
done.
than you. Slightly faster than you.
Well done.
So I imagine we had a lot of perfect scores tonight. The trivia, I saw better percentages on the questions tonight than we normally see. I didn't trick people quite as much tonight. Maybe a little bit of an easier trivia game. But I thought it was kind of a fun one to do, the whole guess all the cards tonight. So
The Churio Jesus Made was a good one.
Yeah.
That one got a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the Dunkin' Go Nuts got a lot of people.
Yeah.
They thought maybe McGrady was the other high vote. So
more people got the Pee Wee Reese card than I thought. I thought the Pee Wee Reese card was going to throw people off. The very last card was actually, that might have thrown the most people off. His hands, they were doing the Gator Chomp.
yeah.
That was Walter Clayton Jr.'s Bowman You Now card after the Gators won the national championship. Because, of course, I'm going to put that in trivia as the final question. The other three players were not Gators. Well, actually, now we had Broom in there. So now he technically, or no, we had Boogie Fland in there. So I should say is technically now a Gator, but not last year. So the Gator Chomp hands, that was the Walter Clayton Jr. Bowman You Now card after they won the national championship. So there you go. Congratulations, Teapot.
Oh, we got to pick a,
We do though, but we got to do, so right now, Pratham, you won a $100 Cards HQ gift card. Make sure to fill out the prize winner form.
Yep.
That is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. Dylan Frankel, you are going to win a $50 gift card because unfortunately Teapot is ineligible, which means that Baseball 500, you are going to win a $25 gift card. So congratulations to you, Baseball 500. And then we're going to pick one other winner. So I need a random number between 5 and the last person who scored points was 92, between 5 and 92. Let's get one random number. Nick, why don't you shout out a number for me?
50.
50. Number 50 is Don P. So congratulations, Don P. You, for playing along with trivia tonight, you have won a $25 Cards HQ gift card. So make sure to fill that out. All right, Teapot, this was a fun show. And thank you guys out there for joining us. We appreciate all of you guys. We're going to be back next month. We're going to do this again next month in June. And then in July, we'll be at the National. Hopefully you will be as well. So hopefully we'll see you guys at the National in July. But we appreciate all you guys watching. Thanks for being part of the show today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night, everybody. Take care.